So I will begin the session with a common question that our emotions, moods, and feelings are same. Please write in the chat box. Let me see your answers. So here we go. I have seen ma'am make me co-host. Who is saying make me co-host? Not the same. One person said not the same. There are 24 people and I need 24 answers. Are emotions, moods, and feelings same or they are different? Please come on, everyone. This is a classroom teaching and you all have to be very active. Yes, same. Okay. No, ma'am. These are not same. Okay. It depends. Not same. Wonderful ideas. Wonderful ideas you all have given. So my answer to this is that yes, you are right. These are not same. Emotions, feelings, and moods are not same. There is a difference. You see, any short-lived emotional state is normally mood. Like mood is quite a short-lived thing. Right now our mood is not good, but the second moment our mood is good. So mood is a short-lived emotion, that is mood. Then feeling is the result of an emotion. Okay, first emotion has to appear and then we will start feeling about that, about the emotion. And emotions are the reactions towards certain experiences. Like if we have seen some frightened picture, so our emotion will be like we are fearful. So that is the reaction to any experience. And how we experience that, we all know that we experience through our, how we experience, please let me know how we experience the things. Write in the chat box quickly how we experience. Emotions are the reactions to our experiences. How do we experience the things in life, in day-to-day lives? How we experience decisions, okay? Mistakes, okay? These are very big answer. I am looking for very simple answer. The answer is that we experience in our life with our 5 senses. Okay. God has given us 5 senses and we experience a thing with that. Sometimes we listen to something, sometimes we taste something, sometimes we touch something, sometimes we feel something. So then after that we experience, like if there is an ice cube, naturally we are going to feel cold. And if there is a fire, then naturally we are going to feel hot. So there are senses that make our experiences. Now, can you tell me some common emotions? Can you name some common emotions? Write in the chat box, please. Names of some common emotions. Joy, okay. Very good. Sad, very good. Yes, come on. Fear, joy, sad. 3 I have heard. What else? Joy, fear, sad. Only 3 we are moving around. Cheerful, happiness, anxiety, happy. Okay, excited, irritate, sad, angry, joy. Very good, wonderful. Now you all have completed the full circle of emotions. Anticipation, somebody has written. So these are the common emotions. Please remember, so after talking about the emotions, we are going to talk about how emotions can be induced into learning. And when emotions are induced into learning, how learning is different that without inducing emotions. So these are the common emotions you have correctly answered. So if there are emotions, there will be 3 parts in the emotions. One will be behavior responses. The other will be subjective experience. And then there will be physiological response. Okay. So if there are emotions, then it's not that only emotions are there. There will be some reaction towards, and there will be some physiological changes of that. Have you ever experienced that when you are excited, you are feeling the emotion of excited, then your heart breath goes up and down. Okay. Or if you are very happy, then how there is a movement in your body, then how there is a change in your physiological appearance. So these emotions always are not in isolation. There are three parts. Our behavior will change, our experience, it will be subjective to our experience, and then there will be physiological change. Now, basic emotions, we have already discussed what are the basic emotions. So basic emotions are sadness and happiness. These are opposite to each other. Then fear and anger, these are opposite to each other. There is somebody who is loving me so dearly in the meeting. So may I request the person not to love me so much, because I'm not habitual of receiving so much love. So please control your hands, and whatever I'm sharing, just listen to that, please. Thank you very much. So sadness, happiness, and then fear and anger. These are also two opposites. Either there is fear and there will be anger, and then surprise and disgust. So these are the natural emotions in the human beings. You all must have heard about emotional intelligence or emotional quotient. You know, I remember that there was a girl who was so intelligent and she used to top in the class always. But it was like in my close known people. But when she could not make to medical, she appeared for the NEET exam, and she worked very hard for that. But if she could not make it, if she could not reserve any seat in the medical, then she committed suicide. So see, if we are talking about IQ, and if we are talking about that how much your cognitive ability is, more than that, that there is a need of emotional intelligence or emotional quotient in the person. How strong we are mentally, how our mind is taking the things into it. There are people who are mentally very weak. They cannot tolerate even the smallest negative thing in the atmosphere, or anything happening against them, against their will and wish. So those people are mentally weak. Those people cannot handle the situations and the challenges of life. So that's why it is very important for us, for our children, to have mentally strong, and for that they have to be emotionally stable. They should know how to deal with the emotions. They should know how to express the emotions. Suppose if I am talking to you and I'm saying, you are saying, ma'am, you are looking beautiful. I say, thank you. Ma'am, you are so bad. I say, thank you. Ma'am, I'm excited today. I say, okay, fine. So if everything I'm answering in this way, without any emotion on my face, without any expression, then what would you say? This is against the human nature, because human nature is that the human being expresses the emotions, and then face is the best organ to express our emotions. When we are happy, our face expressions are different. When we are sad, when we are excited. So I remember one of my teacher in my previous school, she used to say that, you know, if you are angry, we can very easily make out with your eyes that you are angry. You know, when we are angry, even anger is shown into the eyes without uttering a single word. So we human beings have to express the emotions. Emotions are natural. We cannot curb them, because we are human being and we are created with the emotions, with lots of we have feelings. But regulating the emotion is the thing that we have to work upon, that how we are regulating our emotions, how we are managing our emotions, and then how we are motivating others and ourselves with positivity. Even if we are feeling angry, but how we have to deal with the anger. You know, suppose if somebody died in the family, so there are different types of emotions in the people. Somebody may feel happy, somebody may feel sad about the death of a person, and somebody may feel like anger, that why God has taken mother from me, why God has done this to me. So that is anger. So with one action, happening in the world, there may be the reactions for the people differently. Some people may take it into sadness, some may take it into fear, some because some may be thinking that, okay, now this is mother is taken by God, maybe next time my father, maybe next time my brother. So there may be element of fear. And then some may feel like anger, that why it has happened to me. So reactions to the situations happens differently in the people. But this is the fact that if we are emotionally stable and if we are emotionally happy, and happiness emotions we are experiencing and positive emotions, then our learning and memory go hand in hand. We learn faster, we learn in a better way, and our memory goes for the longer time. So this we have to keep in mind while we are expressing the emotions. You know, there are people, they don't know how to deal with, if sometimes mom is angry, if sometimes mama is angry, if sometimes papa is saying something, they don't understand that where to go, how to deal, how to manage the things. So they withdraw themselves. So, while there are other children, they know how to deal with the people. So there are different types of students who deal with the emotions differently. There are introverts, while there are extrovert children, those who know how to deal with this. So now these emotions are good, or these emotions are essential for the hearts as well. You know, if there is no emotion, then we will not start thinking critically. You know, if everything is like in a routine, in a regular way, then we all will go in a routine. But when we have the emotions, there is an urge from within that helps us, or that motivates us to ask the higher order thinking skills, to develop that skills. And out of these emotions, you can say that 7 primary emotion system that governs we people, like we are mammals. So our mammalians brains are governed by these basic feelings. We have seeking, we have rage, we have fear, we have lust, we have care, we have panic or grief, or we have play. Out of this, I will just focus on 2 aspects, 2 emotions. And can you please tell me in the chat box that out of all these, as teaching and learning, which 2 I am going to talk about, and I am going to speak more about that. Will you please write in the chat box so that I can see that which 2 you are also with me. You are thinking on the same line as I am thinking. I have shown you 7 emotions. Out of that, I am going to just take 2 emotions as part of the learning and as part of the memory development. Can you guess, any one of you, which 2 emotions I'm going to take? Care, somebody has taken care, okay. What else? There are 21 people, I need 21 answers. If you want to see once again, I can show you those 7 emotions, basic emotions of mammals. So these are basic emotions of mammals. You can see these are on the screen. Out of these, I'm going to select 2 when I am dealing with teaching and learning. Fear and seeking, okay? Panic, okay? Good. So I must say that here, the one who has mentioned about seeking is correct, and the one who has spoken about play is correct. I'm going to deal about these 2, that how seeking and how play. These 2 are important for our teaching and learning. Why seeking? Seeking means that the child has to be inquisitive. The child has to be curious. Then only the child is going to learn. In our normal classroom teachings, you will find that without arousing the curiosity in the children, what we do is that we simply go to the class and inform the children whatever is there in my mind. We always follow the jug-mug theory. Jug-mug theory is that we take full of jug, okay, a jug full of knowledge, and we go in the class and we ask the children to bring their mugs, and then we pour into their mugs. In this way, whatever we know as teachers, we are going to just deliver to the children. While the basic emotion in the child is the seeking, the curiosity emotion. The child needs first to be curious about knowing something. And then arousing the curiosity is the foremost responsibility. And then secondly, the play. You know, play for us is considered, पहले जमाने में कहा जाता था ना कि खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होगे खराब, पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो होगे नवाब. Those are the days who have gone, because that time psychology was not as advanced as it is today. Human psychology, the study of human psychology suggests that play is a form of learning for the children. Play is not a waste of time, not for recreation, not for enjoyment only. Play is a form of learning. So if these two aspects, if we can take in mind while dealing with the children, that we have to arouse their curiosity, and then we have to provide them the play, the games. Through the games, if we are giving them the experiences, then you will find that their learning is everlasting. And their learning, they are not going to forget it in life. That is the reason why in the school, what we do, we always organize the projects, we always organize the role plays, dramas, then celebrations, then outdoor learnings, outdoor activities, and then we use lots of teaching learning materials to give them to play. So this play, we should never think. Some of the parents I have seen, they always say कि बच्चा क्या करता रहता है, खेलता रहता है. खेलता रहता है is not a waste of time. खेलता रहता है means the child is learning through games. The child is learning through play. So it is as important as anything else. So why I have shown all these things, because we deal with these emotions, and we provide the children some learning opportunities. Because in the classroom, when there are 40 children in the class, 35 children in the class, 50 children in the class, it's not possible for the teacher to understand each and every child's emotions and every child's emotional need. This also should be clear in mind that each child has different emotional needs. The same thing may please someone, and the same thing may bring anger someone, and something may bring fear in someone. So for this, it is important to understand the child, each and every child, and then provide them individual learning opportunities, so that each and every child should be first read, that the child, what exactly he is, what is his psychology, what exactly he needs in life, how exactly he is going to learn, what is his learning style, which type of intelligence he possesses. So all these reading is essential before making the child learn anything. So my presentation is just to make the parents and the people understand that how important it is to bring a child, to bring certain types of training for the children, so that they can understand their needs and they are going to deal with their emotional needs. So my dear parents and the children, I am here just to urge you, just to motivate you, that don't think that it is going to be waste of time or waste of money or waste of energy. If at this time we are not able to understand the child, if we are not able to understand the child's emotional need, if we are not able to understand the child's psychological need, and as a routine he is just learning some facts in the school and appearing for the exam and then writing the exam, believe me, the child is not going to be emotionally stable and the successful person in life. For that, it is very important, because in today's world where we have achieved advancement, where we have gone to the moon, the other hand, there is a need of emotional stability. You know, the person like the famous actors, they are committing suicide. The famous models, the famous businessman, the successful people, they are committing suicide because they are not at all capable enough to deal with their emotions. I just narrate one small story, that when my son was very small, he was very much fearful of the teacher. And full 1 year, that teacher was the class teacher, and he has somehow managed with the teacher. Then next year, after the PTM, when he was going with me to the first day to the school, I just mockingly, I said, jokingly, that you know, the same teacher, like Mrs. So-and-so is your class teacher in this class also. You will not believe that he just asked me that turn the car and go back home. He said, no, I'm not going to learn from that teacher at all, because the teacher has not understood the emotional need of the child, and the child was throughout the year under fearful emotions, because he was under the emotion of fear. And he has lots of fear of that teacher, and because of that he was not ready at all to go into the next class. When I just said that jokingly that that particular teacher is your class teacher again, then I said, no, I was just joking, that she is not there, the other teacher is there. And then he came with me to the school, and then he attended the class. So this is very important, that the child should be understood, the child's needs should be understood, the child's emotions should be understood. And for the teachers, I say that when you are teaching in the class, please bring emotional attachment with the children. You please attach their experiences with their emotions, then only their learning is going to be everlasting. So I hope this presentation was of little benefit for you, and then you all are going to understand the child in a better way, because I love children, and that's why this is my personal concern for all the children. Thank you very much.